My technology doesn't seem to be working. In the recent days, my phone seems to fill up with a lot of information, and suddenly I can't make a video. It seems that there's no space on my phone whenever I open my mouth. It doesn't matter how many times I delete anything on my phone, it seems to just fill up randomly. Beware of your technology. Don't let it ride upon your emotions like it rides mine. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's aggravating. Cannot wait to see this thing gone and just in a trash heap somewhere. Living in the days that we should be living in without this technology. Germany fought for its people. It was the government itself of the Nazi Party and so on and so forth. That was fighting to conquer the world, while the people themselves were being told that they are fighting for the people and defending their people and trying to secure safety for their people, just like we are today and have been for quite some time. It's the same lie that was propagated to the Nazis, to the people of Nazi Germany, as well as it was propagated to us in the United States. Or even of Rome, even. That's something people keep forgetting. Learn history, folks. Trust me. It cuts out a lot of the bullshit. The Nazis never fell. They became Americans. Not just the people that my grandfather brought over here from Operation Paperclip, but also in Antarctica. You see, the Nazis, the aristocrats, the Templars, the Freemasons, they managed to grab, or rather, gain technology from the fallen. First schematics, and then technology itself from appeasing them. Our country's also gained that. That's the point of Roswell. But moving on. I'm going to try to cut out a lot of this crap, because I don't have a lot of time. Not with this piece of shit technology and the censorship. So, with that being said about Templars and Freemasons in Nazi Germany, my grandfather mentioned to me that the time frame that we're going to be going into is going to be that of a very similar way of society, where we're going to be policed by fascistic individuals. They're going to be ruled by the Templars and the Freemasons. They're going to intermix themselves with our hierarchy as well as our law. If you know anything about the Noahide law, then voila, you know what's going to happen. From my time in service in the United States Marine Corps, I have learned that fear is how they rule. That is how they keep you in line. It is a lot easier to say yes sir than it is to say why or what is this. Asking questions they don't like. And when it comes to being one of those boys in blue, let's be frank here, they're going to take the orders given to them, just as I was taking orders to send munitions to ISIS. You obey, or you learn to fear them. Some of the visions that I had of the future, the timeline I'm currently living in right now. In those visions, I was in Manchester, New Hampshire. I didn't know it at the time, when I was a kid, when I first saw them. I knew it only when I actually got to see it from my own eyes, when I actually grew up, went there, and got married. Yes, I saw the woman that I ended up marrying. A beautiful woman that I thank God every day for. The police were intermixed with the Freemasons and the Templars, like I mentioned. They're going to be wearing patches. They want you to see the patches because they want to desensitize to some people who don't know. And to the people that do know, they want to single you out. Don't call them out when you see the patches. Don't. Trust me. Don't. That's when you get beheaded. It's when you get taken to the synagogues. They'll find a way to deal with you. They're also going to be carrying around people, or not carrying around, excuse me. They'll be bringing along individuals from Israel. I saw them too. It's not a lot of them. Usually one per group, and then they have districts that they rule over. And those people they end up going to govern. You'll see them. Trust me. They will treat you as cattle. And if you know anything, well, they'll deal with you. They will have technology where they're able to see from your eyes. Imagine mine right now. Imagine if you had a camera system hooked up to the back of my head and you're able to see out my eyes. Everything that I see, you will see. Everything I hear, you hear. They have that technology already, and they're going to be using that. So it doesn't matter this little phone that I'm using here, they'll be able to govern me. In that time frame, my cellular device here, as an example, they become mandatory tracking devices. Go out without it, you'll be found. Simply because they'll know that you're either near it or not. I remember in those dreams, in those visions, they knew whenever I didn't have my phone on me, and if I was in another room, because they'd stop by and make sure it was on me. In this time frame that is to come, something my grandfather mentioned is that he believed that what was necessary was not going to be done. The people are not going to do what they are supposed to do when it is time to act. We cannot act before it happens, because then it'll give excuse to the lie. But if it happens, and then we act after it begins, we will be justified, and God will be on our side. Last but not least, in those visions, they kept us in bubbles. And I mean by bubbles, I mean social bubbles. Various different minorities were segregated. They played into that. For the socialist people who wanted socialism, they will take from the middle class, take everything from them, and they will give it to the poor and to the minorities, so they can sate one side, keep them in their bubbles, and at the same time, slowly build a slave class out of the middle class. And eventually they'll enslave us both together, one by one. And to those who they know they will not submit, or they're not up to par of what they want for their cattle, at the temples, the synagogues. When this time comes, do not listen to people like me. Do not listen to people in general. There's only one person you should listen to, and that is the Lord Jesus Christ. Let him command you. Follow his orders. You will see other things that are terrifying, like I saw in those visions. Black triangles in the sky. Those are spaceships. The fallen, as well as perhaps other things. I probably shouldn't say other things, but people with the technology themselves. But my guess is more along the lines as the fallen themselves, ruling from the sky. From my prayer to the Lord Jesus Christ, he has told me I could hear his voice whenever I would ask about this. Do not worry about that. Leave it to the angels. I believe that the angels will fight them. So do not fear them. Do not put fear into anything but the Lord. Trust and fear the Lord alone. God bless you all, and good luck.